Hello, YouTube. So I'm ooh, coming live. This is actually the first time I have done this from my laptop. So yay for learning things. Um, but sadness for batteries on phones that don't last that long. Anyways, hello. My name is Sarah Taylor. I am a wife, mother, and business owner, and this is how I manage it all. So I am talking to you tonight about kind of like a monthly wrap up here. This is something I wanted to start doing. I am trying to adjust to schedule. Honestly, I forget that I set a schedule up. I forget that I have all these things in place to try and remember them, and I'm learning how to use them. However, I have been so successful this month with keeping up with the systems I put in place compared to last month. So, for example, I set 3 goals, and I have my notes here. You know, I always have notes, and I'll try to not speed through it just so that my words try to match up with what my mouth says. Because stream quality on YouTube, we know it's not that great, but this is what I've got. So, working with what I've got. Anyways, you guys know this picture. This is that planner that I love and have and keep, and it works really well for me. So if you want a planner that helps you do all the things, I recommend this one. This one was like $12. I like this one. Anyways, so it's a new beginning of a new month here in a couple of days, and that's why my pages are empty. So I'll go through and fill this in uh, tomorrow. I may do some of it tonight. I don't know. I don't know. But when I look, excuse me, I'm tired, guys. It is 20 minutes to 10 here in Missouri. When I look back at my August goals, I had 3, and they were to drink more water, they were to pray daily, and to build an AM routine. Well, while I didn't pray daily, I did pray more than last month. And I'm not trying to keep count, I'm just trying to uh, be more confident in my spiritual practice. So I keep a prayer journal. It allows me to focus on one thing at a time, and that really helps. Um, it's also kind of cool because it sees where my mind and my mood is at. It's also a nice stress reliever, so that shows that I was making an attempt to manage my stress and anxiety. So that's an accomplishment. So I keep looking at the screen, and the camera's up here. Anyways, um, I put a water app on my phone, and I love it. It really, really helps. You can set the reminders to the way that you need them to work for you. It keeps track of how much you take in. It gives you options on how to do that. It's really, really nice. So I love my water app. I've used it every day. Um, there's days I realized I didn't drink any water and I drank nothing but coffee. And yeah, that's still hydration, but it's not just plain water. You know, our body need water. Coffee is dehydrating in itself, even though you're drinking liquid. So remembering to drink water is something I have accomplished this month. And building an AM routine, I I feel like it's not 100% there, but it's better than what it was the month prior. It's no longer a stress or a scramble for me in the morning. I have gotten much better at building a better breakfast meal prep this month. I've gotten better at uh, not overwhelming myself with chores to do right off the bat. You know, I have gotten better with spending that morning coffee time with my husband. Um, I have done a lot better with that. So that to me was a success. Now, some of these things I'm going to keep the same goals for next month, but set higher expectation of each goal. Um, I have I've done really well. Excuse me with Rar. That was a pretty picture. Anyways, I have done really well with maintaining the food that I prepped and making sure we eat it. I've done really well with sticking to cooking at home. It's not always what I planned, um, but I was cooking at home. Now I have receipts to go through tonight that I'll be doing tonight. Ooh, does my cat? That was my cat, a little creepy cat. Um, I have receipts to go through tonight to do some tallying, um, to see where our numbers hit because I am changing up my envelope system for September. I am setting dollar amounts that I'm spending rather than just keeping track of what I'm spending because I've kind of been doing that anyways. You know, I only shop with cash. I don't use the family debit. So, and I say family debit just because we've only got one. I don't use the family debit. And I've explained this before. I don't like using that card because to me, that's like that's money that you can't really tell when it's gone, or it's harder to keep track of when it's gone. Uh, I don't I don't do the electronic tracking. It aggravates me. It drains the battery on my phone, and then I'm having to pay attention to my screen and less time with my children. And I like keeping receipts. I like writing it down. I like filing away that receipt and being done with it. I've gotten really good at building better habits with keeping my receipts this month. I think this is my most successful month, even with traveling, at keeping receipts. I'm still going through papers from March and even February, and I was finding receipts. I found like two receipts for January and one receipt for February. Now, I didn't keep those obviously because, like, what kind of record is one receipt, you know? And my husband and I, when we move, because we've moved so much, the first month that we move is the hardest. The first 30 days is the hardest because you have all the deposits to turn things on or transfer fees to transfer over the same service. You things like that, or when you're renting a new place, they always want a new deposit. So, um, there's things like that that always change our budget. So that's never something good for us to go off of. And then a month after we move in, so like now we're looking at March 2nd and beyond, I had started keeping track of some things, but they went towards a different structure budget. They were a budget that let us build to our solid April budget. And that sounds really awful. I'm sure it's a really bad method, but it's the only thing that helped us get from point A to B to C, which is where we are. Being able to comfortably say, this is where we're spending, and this is how we can make it happen. So it gets us to the end goal, and we're no longer looking to move. So this will be nice to be like, all right, it's not a year, because like we would move once a year, and not have to do the whole deposit thing again and stuff like that. So it'll be nice. I think that once the end of March happens for 2019, I'll be able to look back and see what I can project for the next year. So that's my goal with this is I want to be able to build a year budget, but I have to have a year to go off of. So I'm really tightening down September. Um, what I'm doing is similar to the method that I was taught by Jordan Page on funcheaperfree.com. If you don't know her, please get to know her. Her channel is amazing. She teaches so much about budgeting and affordable things to do with families. She's a joy to watch. I really encourage you to watch her. She taught the envelope system. Hers is way simpler than mine. I function best on micro detailing. I just do. When it's too vague, I tend to get detailed anyways. I don't know how to explain it other than I have a cricket personality. That and I've talked about that numerous times. So, um, what I'm doing is I'm still going in with my 100 cash, right? But I'm not going to see, like, this week, like, see, the first week in August, I had went with my 100 cash, but I also had extra money from like the carryover week, the week prior, and I would use that to buy, like, say I needed extra wipes or something, like small stuff, like fill in stuff before you do the bulk purchase. Because we're at a point where we're doing majority bulk purchase now, and that is saving us so much money. So, um, I'm doing that, and I I think that's going to be better because it's not going to be me spreading a bunch of extra money out. It's like, this is what I had to work with. Now, if I have to spend something, like, say, it's like an emergency, like an emergency would be we don't have running water and I need to go buy like extra bottles of water or something, which that's happened. It's we have floods in Missouri too, so not that we're flooding right now or anything. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying emergencies happen. That would be like, okay, I'm gonna write that we spent it for this month, but I'm gonna create a separate category and just keep track of the expense on the back of an envelope. Um, I think that's what I'm gonna start doing because I think that's where we start messing up our normal monthly budget. Um, so I'm kind of micro detailing it. I'm gonna make a new envelope and I'm calling it emergency funds, and it's things like I said, like if for some reason we don't have water, or if I have to go buy extra batteries and candles because the power went out, or something like that. Emergency is not, I need more coffee. Like, that's not an emergency, although some people would say it is. I'm getting off track. Anyway, so that's how I'm kind of tweaking our budget. So I've got new envelopes to make up tonight. These are August envelopes, and if it's reading the way I'm seeing it, it's probably reading it backwards on screen. Sorry if it is. If not, then disregard. Um, but yeah, I've got new envelopes, so I'll be hoping to film a new command center update tonight. Um, so that means I'll have a new envelope to put on my bulletin. Um, and then I've got something that I also do, that I haven't talked about, like how I build a grocery list or menu plan. Is I literally treat these as like, this is the only option in the store. This is what's here. If it's not a uh, produce item, because everybody always has produce, it's really easy to figure out who has what produce. But if it's not on here, it's not something I can have. So I really shop sales only, and I don't normally have this many to go through, but it's Labor Day weekend. Um, so I'm just kind of humoring it. I most likely will just go to this new store, new to me, not new to the area, and see how that works out. Carnivore husband has been begging for ground beef, so I'm gonna buy him some ground beef. That's okay. He wants it, he can have it. I've been trying out something new for meal prep. I think what I've decided to do is, for the vegan meals, since majority of it is like a plant-based whole food kind of thing, to keep it healthy, for me to keep track of how much protein I'm actually taking in and what vitamins I'm actually getting, and what I'm missing, because I'm at a point where I need to start supplementing. Um, I've been meat free since May. I will be egg free as of tomorrow. Um, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm learning different ways that I can make my own food and my favorite foods, and I'm just I'm enjoying being back in my kitchen and making something that is nutritious and delicious all at the same time. And those are things I crave now. So, I've learned that. So I've got command center material I'm writing up tonight. And this is something I will do at the end of every month. It's just going to be an after hours wrap up. Now, this past week, when you look, if you were somebody from the outside world and you were looking at my planner, You could tell there was a week I was definitely on top of my game. I've got my meals written down. I ate half of them. The other ones I didn't. But you could tell where I planned certain events, and then the following week I dropped the ball. So that's kind of like how this has been going for me, trying to build new routines and not overwhelming myself. Um, so I didn't write a single thing in my planner this week. This planner, it was like it didn't exist this week. Um, and I think this comes with being a new mom handicapped, you know? I feel like I constantly have to have eyes on my son all the time and I don't have time for me, or I feel like, why do I deserve time? He's the one who needs me right now. Why am I thinking of myself? And then I just fall down this downward spiral. And that's like the depression has taken over by that point. Um, and the only thing I can do is talk to my husband when those things happen. Uh, do the things I love, and let the people who love me. So uh, I feel much better this upcoming week. It also doesn't help that, probably TMI, but I am having some weird hormonal balance issues right now because I think I'm officially, let's see, May, June, July, August. Yeah, I'm only 4 months coming off of a birth control that I was on for over a year, like well over a year. Um, and that really fluctuates with your hormones. And like I said, that's probably TMI for some people, but that really has just, it has really, really messed me up. Being on it in the first place made my depression way worse. It made me upset a lot. Uh, but I'm having a hard time uh, managing my stress. It's making my chest hurt. It's making me sleep terrible. Coming off that birth control, like my hormones went crazy. They were like, we all have jobs, but we don't know how to do them, kind of thing. Or there's too much of something, and then I'm putting my body through more craziness doing a vegan transition. So I have a lot of adjustment going on. Um, so I'm trying to be patient with myself, which is why I was like, why don't I focus on spiritual practice instead? And that gives me a something to do, and lets my body balance itself out. So it is getting better. It's just really hard right now. Like, I'm so sick of my face breaking out. I'm so sick of crying forever. I cry at least once a day. I am tired of feeling tired, and I'm exhausted with it. I don't know if I'm at a point where I need some kind of interventional help. That really scares me to go down that road, because I've talked to therapists before. I'm just not sure if I want to start doing that, because we're trying to have another baby. We're trying to do that. And the last thing I want to do is to get on a medication, give it the 90 to 120 days it would need to see if it works. And then I suddenly have to stop taking it because I can't take it while I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So, um, what I'm trying to do is just to be responsible as myself, to keep, like I said, the people close to me, who know about it and who love me, and to talk to my husband, because he is my number one person who I would have to tell and who I want to tell. So in the meantime, I'm trying to find projects to keep myself busy, and I have been doing that. I've been really decluttering my house, really enjoying that. I wish I could show you what I'm doing, but it's not really as cool as anybody else's. You know, I don't have the fun fast forward. My son is much younger than other people who have the time to do these decluttering videos, because my son will pick up the camera and y'all be running around the room. I'll just be chasing a camera. So it's just not possible for me to do those right now. But I'm really enjoying it. It just, like I said, it gives me one goal to focus on, and that's really helping. So what I'm wanting for September, There's a lot going on in September, and I had to write it down. Um, I have, excuse me, my son is turning 2. Oh, excuse me. And that was pretty, I'm sure. Yeah, my son is turning 2, so I am hosting his birthday party. I've never hosted a birthday party for my son before. You know, his first one was at my mom's house because our home was too small. But it was a very small, like immediate family kind of thing. This is gonna have quite a bit of family there. There'll be other kids there, and it's my first time hosting an event since we moved at this house. So I'm really excited because I want it to go well. There are things that stress me out just because uh, it's not here yet. That's all. That's really why, is that it's not here yet. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, can you fix it? Yes, why worry? If you can't fix it, why worry? So it really just comes down to it's just not here yet. So maybe it's more anticipation, but my son is turning 2. Um, we've got uh, I've got lots and lots and lots of yard work to do this month. I just know it. I have lots of weed pulling and trimming and clipping, and I really want to get that bonfire area under control. I've got lots of things. I wanted to plant stuff, right? But I think we're at the end here, and we're just done with planting. We're in a furniture building mode rather than a landscaping mode. Um, so I've got lots of yard work to do, and I'm really struggling to get outside. I maybe go outside twice a week. Otherwise, I'm inside a lot, and that's the same for Jackson. When I say I gotta go outside, I'm like sitting in a sun porch. Like that's not even directly outside. So like getting in the sun and soaking it up and really just like being outside, I don't do that ever. Unless I'm cutting the grass, but I don't do that once a week anymore either because it's been really hot or rainy here. It's weird. Um, so I'm really, really wanting to get back into that, and I thought about what keeps me from doing it. And one is my mood, and two, I am anxious to the max when I have to be outside with my son. Makes me so anxious. Um, Especially in the backyard. We don't have a fenced yard. It's just big, wide open space. And there's like a hill that could drop down, and I don't want him like playing in certain stuff. Like he's just not at a point where I can't take my eyes off of him. And there's no point for me to be outside if I can't do what I want to do. Like it's hard to play outside with him. Um, because he can't stay focused on anything for very long. He just wants to go. He, especially if it's somewhere he's not supposed to go, he just wants to go. So, uh, he really keeps me from being outside and keeps me from enjoying it. So I have to find a way to get over that because I can't keep him inside. Um, I would love to know how other moms get outside time with their kids that are 2. Um, is it I could be stressing over nothing, but I'm so afraid that like I'll turn my back and he'll be gone. And I don't mean like abduction gone. I mean like he ran off somewhere and I don't know where the hell he went. Or the hill, the bottom of our hill like took him and he's just rolling down like a potato. Like I my anxiety goes from like 0 to 100 that fast. Like I just think the worst could happen. And I think maybe I need to get that under control first, or do I need to face the fear first? I don't know. So what should I do? I don't always like asking people to put comments like tell me how should I do these things, but I'm really reaching out to some moms here like how do you deal with this? because it's really hard for me. This is where I struggle consistently. This is where I struggle, no matter where we've lived, is getting outside. And he loves outside. He loves outside. Um, so the last thing I have to talk about, because we've been running for 25 minutes here, is I had a Costco haul for you. I killed it on my last Costco haul, and it was my last grocery haul. This is actually the first week in a while I haven't posted a grocery haul. And I filmed it, and after I filmed it, I listened to it while I put the groceries away, right? That's usually how I do this. Because I post it as soon as I film it. So I try to keep it as real time as possible. And there was a word I said that didn't sound right on camera, but the way I pronounced it in my head, it wasn't inappropriate. So I was like, I can't for the life of me post this video. I'll refilm it. Well, a whole week has gone by and I've not refilmed it, and we have eaten a lot of that food. Oh, not a lot of it, but at least half of it. So, so sorry. um, and it was a good one too. Oh, it was a good one. Like the two best deals I've ever had in my life. I think I got um, two 3 pound bags of brown rice and quinoa blend. They were a dollar something per bag. Dollar something. And I got 2 cases of organic vegetable broth for $3 and some change a piece. So I have 16 cartons of vegetable broth for, we'll just round it to $7. Like, that's amazing. That is amazing. So Costco has is starting to switch up their stuff. Um, I have had some success with some healthy vegan snacks that I wanted to share for other vegans or people who are trying to find a healthy snack to give to their kids that are safe for school. I have 2 snacks that say they are allergy friendly, like they are safe to send to schools that have strict guidelines on peanut allergies. They say it on the packaging. Or um, they're gluten free, soy free, no shellfish, no dairy, so that makes them they are vegan. Um, there are things, I said no wheat or gluten. I'm missing some. No nuts, no tree nuts, and they're delicious. I found 2 snacks like that, and they're really, really affordable. So I'll probably be keeping those in my permanent staple for as long as possible. And I also found another healthy snack that both my son and I like, and it's also affordable, and it's vegan. Now, remember, I'm not trying to make my son vegan, but it's so much more cost effective if it's a snack that we both will eat. Um, because then it makes it more affordable, and then I'm not spending special money on my snacks, and I'm not spending special money on his snacks, because Jackson used to have his own budget all by himself, especially when he was a year old and less. He had his own budget because he had his own formula, he had his own food pouches, he had his own puffs, he had of course the diapers, and he had wipes and the diaper cream, which I was buying like a tube every month, and he had his own soap. He had a lot of his own stuff. And when he was that age, I was like, I have a baby budget. Um, and then I just learned how to incorporate that in my actual everyday food budget. So, and that really happened when I started making his own food. Man, did I save money then. But that's off topic. Um, it's just so much nicer when I can buy them and then buy them in bulk and they won't go bad. It's just nice. So, my top 3 Costco recommends were the vegetable broth, the organic quinoa and wild rice, and this bag of puffs called, I think they're called hippies. good. They are a vegan white cheddar, but they're delicious. They're really, really good. The two snacks I was talking about that are school safe, it's the brown rice rollers. They're so good. If you ever had that cereal, Honey Smacks or Sugar Smacks, dude, these taste like that. And that brings me joy because it's like eating my favorite cereal. Because Honey Smacks are not vegan, they have honey in them. But these are. There's no honey in these. They're delicious. Um, and they're really easy to travel with. I can grab a pouch and throw it in my bag and be done. So, very travel friendly. They fit great in lunch boxes. And the second snack that was school safe were these granola cups. And now it's not like one cup, like the size of a Reese's peanut butter cup, right? They're much smaller. Think like Reese's minis kind of size, but they're not that decadent. There's a serving of vegetables in each pouch. A whole pouch is a serving. Um, and it is, again, it's vegan. It's no nuts and no dairy and nah. It's all that. But it's a pack of 20. You get 20 pouches for you get two flavors, so it's 10 of each flavor. It's mixed berry granola cups and chocolate chip cups. They're good. My son loves them. And if that's how, I'm like, all right, if you eat nothing else but you ate these granola cups today, you at least got one serving of vegetables. I'm good with that. So, um, those are what I recommend. I think the rice rollers were like $6 or something. Um, Maybe more. I know that the hippies were not expensive either. So those are exciting. Um, all in all, I spent less than $100 at Costco, and I got almost all of my food from there. The only things I picked up from Fresh Time were produce. Um, the way I've been prepping my food. Sorry, I think I started talking about this earlier. The way I've been prepping my food, I have decided to do the freezer meals for the carnivores because I can throw that in a crock pot and be done with it. Um, and then I was gonna do sheet pan cooking and marinades for my meals, where I can chop some veggies, sheet cook them, do two types, put two sheets in at once, and then just separate them out in containers. Um, I would do all the grains at once for the week, and that's for the whole house to enjoy. Everybody in the house needs grains. Um, Things like we like kale in the house. I learned how to effectively get all the leaves off the stem of that kale, so I'm no longer eating the stem, which I'm quite happy with. It's made this much more enjoyable, especially when making ramen. Kale and ramen, it's so good. Try it. Um, Things like uh, I learned how to keep my lettuce fresh even after washing it. That was an amazing trick I learned on YouTube. So I'm prepping ingredients for my stuff, and I'm making the freezer dinners for the carnivores. That really, really has been working out for me, and I'm going to continue to do that. And that really works with this next shopping that I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to I guess you can call it like a catering store. Some places require you to have like a business license to be able to shop there. This one doesn't, and it's called Gordon's. Like I don't know what else it's called, but it's called Gordon's, and you can buy for $1.99 per pound of ground beef. It's 81.19 blend, and it's starting at 10 pounds per purchase. And that's how much I would need for my husband. That's it. I would get so much. Like for the month, that's his beef. So being able to do things like that really makes it a lot easier on me, especially with me hosting like my first parties. Like I can buy all my hot dogs there. Now I have Costco. I can do it from Costco too, but it's not always the best deals you get at Costco. It's more like you're paying for the convenience. But it's nice that I have two bulk places I can buy from now. So what may work at Costco may not work at Gordon's, and what works at Gordon's may work at Costco. So that's just nice to have that, and I think it just takes Walmart less and less out of the equation because I can't stand Walmart, guys. I can't stand it. You go in there for one thing, you come out with half the store. I can't stand it. And I'm not saying Target's getting to be the same way, but because Target's more expensive than Walmart, but dang it, it's getting close. It's getting close. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I still got some work to do. It's 10:15 p.m. on a Thursday night, rolling into Friday. I may not do this stuff till tomorrow. I'm getting tired, and the alarm just went off on my dryer to switch the clothes over. So, uh, thank you so much for sitting and enjoying this with me. And I'm hoping next one's going to be better with the going outside thing. I would like to be able to go outside with him at least once a day. That would be nice. I'm really wanting to get into an activity that I can do with him. I'm thinking about taking him running with me. Throw him in a stroller and I just go running. Something like that. Like gets me outside, gets a workout done, gets him outside. It, I would like that. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and remember to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up so I know that somebody out there likes what I'm talking about. Or even shows me some mom support because I need that. Not sometimes, but all the time. I need that. And yeah, follow the Raising Taylor's Moments Instagram account to catch those in the moments with me and my family. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody have a great night. Bye for now. Oh no, end stream.